Hello! Good to be back in the studio today. I hope everybody had a wonderful new year. And yeah, it's been a surreal, weird week of not really existing, it felt like. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, we're back to it, and I'm still, yes, I know, you're all probably sick of seeing this, but I'm still working on this, and I can probably try to work out something different to do in the next stream to break some things up. But yeah, still painting on her and on this old cutting board. Oh, it's so heavy. Okay. And I have a few more elements that I've cut out to add in and start building up the background as well. Tattoo background, and then maybe a little bit of details, and hopefully getting her a lot closer to done. And I don't know, like, if this is the 6th session that I've worked on this piece live, and I've done just very little bits of things not live. I said hello. Good to see you again. And but yeah, I'm getting there. I can work on a painting for absolutely tens and tens of hours easily. So it's always a matter of deciding when it's okay to let go and accept that it's done, and you know, all that fun stuff. But I was going to do a really quick little look around the studio about wire management and how I have things set up. So I have my camera on my phone set, so I'm gonna real quick switch settings, show you the wires. And it's been a lot worse, and I'll explain how that was in a second. I'm going to switch my camera to my phone so I can go around and hold on. All right, let me turn it on. And am I resumed? Nope. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Yes, there you are. Hello, welcome to my very messy studio. There's my computer, and all the wires are coming from the computer, going in different directions. So here's a couple we can follow along to. My microphone and my webcam, which is right in front of my iPad, which I use to follow what's happening in chat. There's a cable going from the iPad to keep it plugged in the wall, because I forget to charge things otherwise. And okay, there's my desk with the lamps I'm using currently, or easel, I guess. And if I pan around the other direction, you can see where my camera is currently. And there is, I have it set up, it's DSLR, it's 2 years old, but I have it set so that I can just have a power cable running to it, so I don't have to worry about battery. And then I have this cable, which is the HDMI out to a converter box, which is currently just draped across my desk here. And not too long ago, I had my whole entire computer on this desk. A month or two ago, I moved it over there, and the main reason was when I'm streaming and I'm painting at my easel, when it was here, and I needed to plug in my microphone and webcam to be in this general vicinity, the cables were literally just floating right across the middle here. And that was horrible. So that was the main reason for me to decide to move the computer over there. Okay, so it's not the worst thing. I mean, okay, we can get real embarrassing here. You see this? Yeah. And the power outlets back there, power bar on the wall. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there's kind of insufficient outlets in the room. Like, I just have the two. I have an outlet over there, and I have an outlet over there. And that's got to operate the lighting, the cameras, the computer, the microphone, all the things. And so it's a little nuts. It's an old place, so that's just how it was designed. And I try to be mindful of trying not to overload things, but yeah, you do what you can. Okay, so that was Yeah, handy cam horror movie, yes. First person shooting. Yeah. That's the way to make a really cheap horror movie. Yeah. So sorry about that. My hands are pretty shaky today. And so I hope that I wasn't giving anybody like severe nausea by going about and showing what was the setup was. Thanks for the tour. That was cool to see. I'm not the only one restricted by wire length. Yeah, I actually even got some longer wires than some things had. Like even just to charge my iPad, which I'm right behind my camera so I can see chats. Just that I had to order a longer USB-C cable, like a 6-foot cable, to be able to have that plugged in someplace. Yeah, and USB ports is another issue. If you have a Mac, especially any kind of like recent Mac, they don't exactly have a ton of USB ports, especially, oh my god, if you have a laptop. So because there's so many things that I need to feed in from my DSLR to my webcam to my microphone, and then I have other, like I have a printer, and I used to have a scanner. It bit the dust about a year ago, and I have a Wacom tablet. Wacom. Uh-oh, what happened with my YouTube stream here? What is going on? I don't know why. It says I have excellent health, but I'm just getting a spinning circle and it disappeared. Something went wrong. Okay, this is the joys of, I'm streaming currently on both YouTube and Twitch, and things are getting weird. Okay, that was weird. I don't know what happened. I apologize for anybody who got a black screen for a second if you did, or locked up. It looks like it's locking up again. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. Not too much shaking. Not live on YouTube. It says I am. What the heck is going on? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, it's goofy. It's been goofy. It's like locking up on me, and so the fact that I can still see it's working on like Twitch makes me know that it's just something I think on YouTube's end. And I don't know, because I have spent some time working on my setup so that I'm streaming at good quality. Also, I'm gonna move this camera for a second so you can see. The cat. I see him. I can't see my camera feed for the second. Yeah, here we go. Now I can see. There he is. He's just sitting in my chair, chilling out. So we'll see. He gets very bored when I'm streaming, and that's like, him chilling there is great. Okay. Enough of talking about everything but what I'm hoping to work on today. We can get into some of the art stuff. And I think I've been mostly starting with some of the collage stuff, get that out of the way, and then I can paint on top of it. So I think I'm going to continue with that idea. Yeah, that's my Watson cat. He's my stinker. All right. I have my neutral TH adhesive, my favorite stuff ever. Where did my trash can go? As you can see, I have a very small space. It gets pretty chaotic. All right. I have that, and I have some things I might need to do some trimming out of. But I did spend some time over the weekend getting some stuff together for this. Like the amount of time it takes to go through old magazines and stuff and find stuff that works for what I'm trying to get at and what I want the piece to say it's very boring and time consuming, although sometimes it's actually pretty interesting. And I think once I did a stream where I was just going through one of the old magazines and it's a trip. Like there's goofy stuff and very dated stuff, and I might do that again because I found some really interesting things. So what I have here, I pull up the camera a little bit, you can see. I'll just put them on my little palette. Some of the things I pulled out. I have some things that are flowers that I already put in a couple things. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit more just because of the story of Little Red Riding Hood is that she gets derailed by manipulation from the fox to go pick some flowers and delay going to her grandmother's where he has the opportunity to, you know, do his thing. Okay. Anyway, yes, let's cut out some little bit of some chunks, 1 or 2 chunks of flowers, and that'll go on here. And some of it will definitely get covered up, but we'll use a little bit of it. And I'm not being too worried about edges. I'm just going kind of roughly. And how far do you feel you're at by now? Do you have a sense? You know, I do, because I can kind of at this point sort of see what I want to do to get it finished. As far as like her face or neck area, anything I would do in here, or even her arm and hand, I think is kind of like fussing and just detail. So I might not do that stuff on stream. It's probably would make for, like, it's still fine to just like do that and chat and stuff, but that might be kind of boring. So I have a few more things here that I want to add in, then I'll do some painting over it, and I'll work on this tattoo design. The hair and the hat need some work. My voice needs some work, apparently. Must be allergies, I don't know. And then I'm going to actually, once I have this stuff in place and I'll paint, I'm actually going to do some drawing over in some of this area also with some paint markers. So that will be, once I'm at that point, that's kind of like the end, the icing on the cake. I think she looks amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I can see, I was just thinking, hey, Mr. Watson, you're trying to climb up my back. Cat claws on my shirt. Hold on, are you stuck to me? Come here. I know, I didn't cut that one yet. Oh. You're adorable, but you need to keep those claws to yourself. Like stretches up my back, and it's very cute, but gets caught. Oh, anyway, that was good stretch. Good reverse back stretch there. What was I talking about? Yeah, once I get to the drawing over part, that'll be like the done. And yeah, I remember now. I was looking at what some people have been doing, have been doing some like the year in my art posts on social media, like all the things I created over the course of the last year. And I was like, oh, that's kind of would be interesting. So I haven't made it yet because everything like that seems to just take me forever to accomplish. I don't know why. It's so hard. Anyway, but I did realize, like, yeah, I think I've seen, like, compared to what I was doing a year ago, 2 years ago, like a lot of change and growth. And I think that's just naturally when you're working all the time and you're just trying to push what you're doing all the time, you're just going to see that happen with anything that you're doing. So that's kind of fun to see that, and something to feel pretty good about. Because sometimes it's easy if you feel like you're not, like you're just spinning your wheels. Am I actually getting better? But then when you pull up the pictures, you can totally see like the progress that you have indeed made. So I'll probably put some of these over there. And then I got some other things that are just bits of pattern. Fun little bits of graphic pattern. Sometimes the best places you can find that sort of thing are fashion magazines. And you just cut out somebody's torso, the sweater they're wearing, and it's like, I like the colors. All right. I do have another thing of a couple more things of flowers. I don't know. Nice looking. I'll go with the one I cut out. And big one. Nah, we'll just go between the one I cut out and that one. This is fine. And then I was going to put some more words in her hair. I have break resistant in there right now. And I also found a couple things that are like protection against this little thing. I don't know, what are you made of? I will probably separate that line out. And then they're tiny letters here. It's like 100% strength, 100% beauty. And I'm just going to use that. I'm trying to remember what that was an ad for. Possibly, I think a watch. I think it was a watch ad. From like 1991 or 2001 or 2002, depending on which magazine I was looking at the time. A repurposed torso is a good torso, Dr. Frankenstein or something. Yes, absolutely. You know, the best thing doing this sort of stuff and cutting things out is taking things out of context. And by taking, like, that just seems to be where some of the really good stuff is. Like, you have to be able to look at an image and see the components of it instead of the whole thing, and the same thing with the bits of text. All right, I have my matcha tea. Switch it up today. It's kind of hot. Ah, that's soothing. Okay. So lots of little bits of random texture from, most of them come from either ads or fashion things. This one was a building from a photo in New York City. I just kind of like the grid pattern. But then once you get it in here and you start like holding it up and seeing where do these things maybe fit in, they maybe do, they maybe don't well. I might use that here. Something like that, perhaps. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of something here, or maybe even over here. This was tile on a floor from something. Black and white tile. Would that be here? Maybe just like that. Oh, I kind of liked it over here. I just feel like this needs something as well. And yeah, okay. Well, we're just going to start with what I've already pulled out, and I can adjust as I go. I'll turn this one down a little bit. But yeah, I was looking at a really old magazine. Check this out. Women's World, August 1914. I mean, this is some oldness. Like, this is, and like the type is so tiny. Really, really tiny type. Everything's just little bits of illustration. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's very short. I think it's like maybe 20 some pages. I don't know if they're numbered. Very thin. 20. Oh my god, I'm carrying it. 28, 29, 30. Okay, so 30 pages, quite short. And what's really nuts in here? Well, first of all, I think I posted in my stories yesterday on Instagram one of the things in here which made me chuckle. No, I'm not gonna be able. I should be able to find it. This thing's only 30 pages. Look at this Crisco ad. Here we are. Exercises for physical defects to cure round shoulders and flat chests. And I don't know how well you can see. Zoom a little bit again. What? All right. Like the outfits the ladies are wearing, because it's 1914, like when you're doing exercises, they are fully clothed in some kind of weirdo schoolgirl thing. But, so that was nuts. But then you turn the page, and this is a real trip. This, I actually want to read. Hi, Jim. Hello, Happy New Year. Jesus, like that Chris God. Yeah, I know. Except it has a dollar sign in it, which is even more amazing. Ah, consumerism. Okay, this article, Women Under the Law, the Progress Towards Equality in 50 Years. Whoops. And it's like a 6-point font, so it's really kind of killer to read. I gotta have my reading glasses on. Should have them on now, but you know what? It's fine. and I kind of just, like, I wasn't taking the time to read it. I didn't have the attention span at the moment to just, it's very dense, but holy cow, there's the things like, here, this little thing. Within the last 5 years, a man deserted his wife, leaving her on the farm, which she, not he, owned. Later, he returned to a neighboring town and signed a paper, leasing the place and taking notes for the rent. He then cashed the notes and took the money and went away. He had by law the management of his wife's property, and the court upheld him. So a man basically sold his wife's property out from under her after he left her without her knowing, took the money and walked away, and she had no recourse. Because that was the state at this point in time of women's rights in the US. And it goes on. There's a few... Oh, yeah, it's nuts. So, holy cow. Like, that's just 110 years old. Not that long ago. Anyway. Now that everybody has at least had that moment. History is so fun. Yeah, so uplifting. No doubt. It has to be the... I'm sorry, I kind of coughed into the mic. I think I have some allergy thing going on. Might have for a while. Like post-nasal drip, and then it gets particularly bad once I'm like talking incessantly, as I am to you guys, talking at you guys. Yeah, I mean, the uplifting part is that we have come as far as we are. And what is still not entirely uplifting is that there's still a lot of room to grow. So... and not just for women. I think that some of the major issues, like you add some intersectionality into that and you really get nuts. Kaiser Wolves? Am I saying, is that right? Oh, as I almost fall over. Hello. Hey, how are you? Happy New Year. I did not fall, so that's a win. What am I standing on? Welcome to the chaos that is my art studio. I am just about to add a few collage elements onto this lady's piece, and then I'm just going to continue working. And it's interesting, I've been streaming live because I'm doing both YouTube and Twitch. I've been streaming live on YouTube initially for going nearly to a year. I think I started in February. And I only recently, like maybe 3 weeks ago, started on Twitch. So I'm figuring things out as I go. Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. And dropping things. Yeah, I've had this kind of like I don't know. It, like I said, this week between Christmas and New Year's is a very much like a no man's land. Oh, nice. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that a lot. My attention span, I tell you what. I've been browsing a little bit on Twitch, just looking at what other people are doing, like primarily other artists. That's my primary interest. And I've had these weird experiences as somebody who's, you know, relatively new, and you see, you just go in to browse. Like, what do you see? What are the first impressions you get? And I gotta tell you, they're not the best. Like, one of the first videos that suggested for me maybe 2 days ago when I signed in was, like, lady taking a shower. And apparently, I don't know, like I said, I don't know things. Apparently there's like a whole category for showering and bathing and stuff. So that's weird to me. And then you go into the art category, and like the first thing that came up for me, being like, you know, only a first of so many times that I've browsed around, it was like, and I guess this is a thing, this guy with a screen is like just full. Like he's only using a quarter of the screen for him and his what he's doing, and then the rest of it is all like beads of or gifs, repeated gifs of ladies doing like gyrations and things, and it's like, I mean, I guess that's a vibe to go with. It just when that's the thing that is like when those are the number one recommended things, it's unfortunately, I think unfortunately comes off as cheap. It's not the best impression of the app to me. Number one art streaming one day was like hentai art. It's like, okay, interesting. Twitch has to tweak its suggestion systems. It's a big thing at the moment, especially since they're wanting to allow 18+ content, but it's got big backlash right now. Do I have Instagram? I do, and it's sort of my name, like I have it on this account, Lynell Ingram, but there's no dash, or I don't remember if it's a dash or a /, but just all one word, no symbols, just Lynell Ingram, and you can certainly find me there. I try to be posting on there regularly. I try is the keyword. Keywords. Do what we can, right? Okay. And very quickly went through my adhesive here. This is my preferred way to add the adhesive because there's nothing. No, I mean there is. There's many things more unpleasant, but just the feeling like when you have the adhesive all over your hands, because I tend to just go in there with little thought for anything, and I just get my hands into it and end up with this the grossness that is impossible to get rid of. Okay. Just adding on all those little bits I just cut out. Yeah. And one of the things I was looking for is I've been thinking like, overlay maybe? And holy cow, overlays are nuts in this space. And I mean, I think you can tell from artwork, I am in no way a minimalist. At all. Not a minimalist. I hope the experience didn't discourage you to keep on Twitch. I find so much value here. Oh, I'm still staying. I do give it the benefit of the doubt that it just is gonna figure some things out. But I do think that that's just like an unfortunate thing for other people who would potentially be here looking for content that isn't exactly those things, you know? I think that it could be a turnoff to a lot of people. And then there's other people where, of course, it's gonna be the draw. So, you know, whatever. Scott Garrist, hello! Scott G. Artist or Scott Gard... I can't read. Artist. Thank you. Hello and Happy New Year. Happy Monday. All the things. Anyway, yeah, I was thinking about an overlay, and they're insane. And yeah, I'm definitely maximalist. I go nuts with color and all the things, but there's also like that designer side of me with the experience of working in design where it's like, yeah, it's crazy, but I still want to control where your vision's going. I still want to have some control over like the focal point, and create movement in a deliberate way somehow still. So it's it hurts me as a designer to see some of it, and by all means, everybody do their thing. Like, what do I know? I don't know shit. But, holy cow. Like, I just... I don't know, especially when you're working on art. Like, you want your focus to be the art, right? Well, I have a little late in this. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to... I moved that earlier. I didn't mean to blind everybody. Ironically, the camera I'm looking at is, like, blocking the part on the screen of me and the camera, so I didn't even notice. Controlled chaos. Yeah, you want to control the chaos a little bit. Yeah, what did everybody do? Fun things? Like, it's been years since I've gone out for New Year's. Blue. It's crazy. It can be crazy. I live close enough to the city that I just am like, don't want to deal with the weird traffic and all the chaos and everything's expensive. Just stay home and watch some movies. And what did I watch yesterday? I think I wrote it down so I remembered. Ooh, one meh movie and another one that was slightly better than meh. Ooh, spent the day in the studio. Nice. That's a good way to spend the day. Did a little painting as well, but I kind of also took some time to just try to stop existing a little bit. If that makes sense. That's a little nuts, I don't know. I don't love any of it. Maybe I go back to something earlier. I will figure it out. Yeah, I watched a movie called The Silencing, which is sort of like a crime thriller, I guess. It has in it, and I don't know, I'm really bad with names, especially of celebrities, but if you watched Game of Thrones, it's the guy that played Jamie? The blonde guy? If I got the name right. Yes, he was the protagonist. And it was okay. I give it an okay. November 2nd marked 1,826 days of continuous painting. Holy cow, that's outrageously amazing. Good for you. Jim, I saw a short by Nicole Conan where she describes the double-bladed axe as a symbol of female empowerment. Ooh. Yeah, give me that link. Oh, and Jim, I did see your email. I didn't respond to it yet. Thank you so much for sending some things. I'm excited to check them out and we'll play with them live a little bit. Very excited. But that's interesting. I didn't know that. I like that. I mean, it fits. It certainly fits. And I wonder if it does have anything to do with, like, folklore stories at all. There are some versions of the story of Little Red Riding Hood in which she is cut out of the belly of the wolf with scissors instead of an axe. So some of the stories where it's like a huntsman, some versions where it's a huntsman instead of a lumberjack. There's different variations on the story, and it's really the old ones before the Grimms got a hold of it that are nuts, that are even more nuts. Like the stories, some of them involve cannibalism, the wolf tricking Red Riding Hood into actually eating her grandmother, or attempting to trick her into it. I mean, it's all like word of mouth stories, so you know that like every area had some variation in that. Where how things happen changed. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. I love kind of digging into the history of some of that stuff and where these things come from that we kind of, you start to take for granted after a while. I love looking up the etymology of words. That's something that I really enjoyed. My preferred medium. Oh, chaos. Well, I'm working, this piece is acrylic with some, I kind of consider myself broadly a mixed media artist. I do primarily as a base, it's either acrylic or sometimes watercolor on paper, and then I do a lot of building on that with other things like some elements of collage to add some elements of storytelling, and sometimes some ink. Like when I'm working on canvas and I've started the base with paint with acrylic and gesso and then acrylic paint, it's not, you don't have as many options, of course. When I start with paper, and I'm working with watercolor, then you can incorporate a lot more like inks and pencils and different things. So I do enjoy both for different reasons. It's actually been a hot minute since I've done something watercolor. A couple months, I guess. I'm thinking I'll probably do that for my next thing, see if I still remember what I'm doing with it. But yeah, I love it. What do you work with? I'm curious. You're currently oh, there you go. Currently working acrylics yourself. I like acrylic. It's what I learned initially, because I mean, I do have a BFA, and when I went and got the degree 100 years ago now, I majored in illustration, and illustration is all about quick turnaround. So there wasn't really any encouragement or guidance in using oil at all, oil paints. So I've only really explored and experimented a little bit with oil paints fairly recently. And I enjoy working with them, but I am not nearly as confident or comfortable as I am working in other mediums. And man, it's warm in here. This place is nuts. It was just freezing in here a couple hours ago. Didn't touch anything, didn't touch the heating settings, didn't touch the thermostat. And it can be the lights in here. I do often get warm when I'm in the studio after a long time, but like, I have a sweater at the ready to go because I'm like, I might actually be chilly in there. Nope, I'm sweating. Oh. Such as it goes. This is not the fun part to watch at all. Apologies for that. I think I will just give this a little cut here, and feels too recognizable. I don't know what it is, maybe. I don't know. I don't love it either. Okay. That all being the case, I might just leave this area for the time being. I can always dig around and find some more stuff. There's like bits of little things all over the place. I never want to, like, I can cut a piece off. I never want to throw it away. I'm like, this will come in handy one day. With extenders and reducers, they can be worked like oils to utilize other platforms. Do you mean for streaming? Or like, I guess, which context do you mean? Alright, sorry, I'm gonna clean this off real quick and we'll get some paints up. But yes, I also love my my mediums too. I've been using this one a lot. It's a Utrecht acrylic medium retarder gel. This has been kind of my go-to recently. I've tried a few different ones, and I just like the way that this one works the best of what I have messed around with. And I still find that it doesn't quite, I just find random bits. I'm like, oh, will that work? The other social media stuff is good. Yeah, I really like this one. I do have Instagram and YouTube. I do my live streams both here and on YouTube, and I do also post some, what do you call them? Edited videos, like just regular videos on there too when I can get some done. Kind of trying to work up what my next ones are going to be for the new year. I think this has been where I've been the most consistent in showing up and being regular has been the live streams, but I have a website, and I actually recently started a blog. Nova Colors Additives. I'm not familiar with that. And you know what? I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna check it out. Note to self. So I won't remember if I don't write it down. Nova Colors Additive. How much do extenders cost? Is it expensive? I want to move to oil, but might be the cheaper option. Oh, if you were, especially if you already have acrylics, it'll definitely be the cheaper option. Can I tell you how much this cost me? I'm actually looking to see if there was still a price tag on it. No, how about that? I've also tried the Liquitex one. I don't like it quite as much, the slow dry medium. I want to say, depending on the size of the container and brand, that in US dollars under 20, but the bigger the container and that sort of thing, probably the more it will be. I buy them by the gallon, not sure the price. Well worth the investment. Yeah, I mean by ounce they're going to be cheaper, most likely the bigger quantity you buy, but I know when you're on a really tight budget, you got to do what you can do, and I totally get that. I've been there majority of my days. Okay, so all right, since I'm going to work first into, I'm going to do some of the tattoo stuff, because I'd prefer to work on that before my paint starts getting any tackiness to it. I want it to flow because I'm using a really small brush on that. Yeah, having it's almost always, let's move here. There we go, as far as I can go at the moment. There we go. All right. Am I exhibiting? I am not currently exhibiting. I have not, I'm not very aggressively pursued gallery representation yet. And when I've, you know, I go through phases, I think probably fairly normally, where, you know, you do some submissions, and when the submissions don't go well, you kind of like pull back and kind of reevaluate things. And I think I put myself in a reevaluation corner for a while now. So I do not currently have any representation, but that is something that I hope to look into this year. Totally understand. Yeah, it's so subjective, and it's such a, like, I'm sure most people and places get so inundated with requests, with people asking them to look at their things. So it's, you know, you always know to not take it like personally, right? But there gets sometimes that point where you get so many rejections or non-responses, and you're just like, okay, well, this isn't going anywhere. Let's just pull back and look at things again. So yeah, I bounce around in there. I kind of like had this moments where I really have wanted to just build a body. Like I kind of go like, I'm building a body of work, and then I'll put some things out there, feelers out there, and then I go back to just create more work, see if I get anywhere else. Yeah, it's tricky, it's tough. Most galleries suck. Yeah, it's just so competitive. Are you in any galleries? I mostly, if anything, have been submitting to some like call for arts or group shows and some things along that line. But not terribly aggressively. I've gotten to a point of really looking at the budget for it. Like, you can spend a ton of money applying to calls for art and doing submissions, and it gets nuts, and that can kind of be difficult to deal with too when things aren't going well. Closing a show out on the 6th, actually. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. That's super cool. I wouldn't have a clue what it takes to get into a gallery. I imagine it's quite hard. It's a combination. I think, like, obviously you have to have a body of work that they would be interested in, and then after that, it's having the right approach. finding the right places. It's all the things. And I fall into the same traps as so many artists do of not being the greatest at marketing myself, of course, too. I'm trying to get better, little steps at a time. This year I'm really gonna try to step it up. That's the goal. Been eating off my paint for a few years now. It's never ending. Well, that's really amazing. That's kind of the dream, right? So that's freaking awesome. I love to hear it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to try to make a go at, and if you figure it out and you figure out what works. And it can be so different from artist to artist because like our approaches and our styles and our subject matters can be so different that changes how we exist in the art world too. Like I dabbled a little bit in some local art shows. And I live in the suburbs. A lot of my work is not very well received in that environment. If I were to, say, drive into the city and do a show there, it'd probably be better, but it's a lot more expensive, of course, to participate. Happens a lot in anything you pursue. I did a book design for years, and I got tired of that. The shiny wears off fairly quickly. Yeah, I mean, anything can become a grind, right? Best part is meeting other creators. Absolutely, I love that part too. Yeah, anything can be that way. I worked in design for quite a while, for a local park district, and what made that kind of interesting was that it had a very big variety of types of branding that you were working with, because there was a golf course, fitness center, children's theme park, a water park. There's like all these different things that need different approaches, and for a while that helped make it interesting enough, but there were other issues that made that problematic after a time. So yeah. It's hard when things get repetitive. Also, looking at stock art, especially going back 4 or 5 years, I think it's gotten a little better. Looking at stock photography for fitness content, oh man, that can be brutal. Like it's just this, oh yeah. It can be downright creepy, quite frankly. I don't miss having to do that. Oh my goodness, there's a cow. Ah, oh, holy cow. Okay. Hi, Watson. Yes, you are on my back. What's going on? Sorry, guys. There's literally a cat. There's a cat on my back. You see this? It's crazy butt. He tries to get up on my back or my shoulders, but he doesn't quite fit. He's kind of a big guy, but okay, you're stuck to me. Ow. All right, baby boy, you gotta get down. Come on. Good. He's like, nope, I'm not getting off. Come on, little stinker. What are you doing? Did you just want to say hi to everybody? Just go make things really hard for painting, you know? I need a papoose or to carry him around that I can wear. Of course, if I put him in something, he'd be like, hell no. It's just if it's his idea. All right, you're kind of heavy, buddy. You're kind of heavy. Oh, and then he starts purring. Okay. What are you doing, love? Having a cat on your back is not conducive to creating artwork. You ready to get down, stinker? Oh, goodness. Okay, let me try to dislodge him from my back for a second. Come on. Down we go. Down we go. Can your claws, love? There you go. There's one. stuck? Are you stuck to me? Come on. Z is stuck to my shirt. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. All right. You're very cute, but it's not the time. All right, y'all. That was an adventure. Break's over. Got to get back to the easel. Have a wonderful stream. If you're interested in my work, I'm on social sites. Same name on all of them. Thank you and have a great night. Have a great night too, and I will absolutely check out your stuff. Writing it down right now. And good luck with all the painting. I hope you have a great night. Okay. All right. Got it written down. I'm gonna have like all these scratches on my back. Trouble. So much trouble. And, you know, who needs a shirt that doesn't have giant tears in it? Okay, back to our regularly programmed content. Oh, all right. It's been such a weird, I don't know, I think it's the last couple of weeks that I have just struggled with having energy and feeling quite right. And I don't know, I haven't been able to put my finger on why that's happening, why I feel that way. And then I've always been somebody where it's like, if I'm not paying attention to like what my brain's trying to tell me, it will start to manifest itself in my body. So when by simply trying to like unscrew something with a screwdriver earlier today, I pinched a nerve in my shoulder. Yeah, there's something. I seem to be missing something, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like time of year, weather, I don't know, but man, I've had no energy. Just trying to force myself to keep showing up and as best as I can. And the effort to maintain some kind of like self-awareness about these things has been falling short for me. So I cannot figure out what my issue is. So I've decided to add some filigree onto the axe, and I'm probably making things kind of hard on myself for doing that, but we're gonna give it a go. Let's see how we do. Trying to keep some like nice, refined, smooth lines with a brush is sometimes a bit tricky. The biggest thing is keep the paint flowing. Like, you don't want your paint to be too tacky, too thick. You want it to be able to flow a little bit. So for me, that was for one, doing this work before the paint has too much time to like set up a lot, as acrylic just does, even when you mix in your retarders. And mixing in a little bit of water. acrylics. I don't have a big collection of fluid acrylics. Just put a burrito in the oven. Sorry if I missed anything. Hey, feeding yourself dinner, that's important. X is gorgeous, just has that inking look perfectly. Oh, thank you. As I fill it in with more stuff, hopefully that'll drive it home. Did some test drawings this morning, kind of experimenting with how I might approach some of the things, some of the details on here. And of course, drawing with a pencil and then coming in here and trying to recreate it with a brush is a whole nother story. And you mostly just missed my cat trying to jump on my back again. It wears me out sometimes. And also another trick of this is going to be like not putting my hand right in there and smearing it. So I should probably be working like here, down. But we'll do our best. I literally say a thing out loud and then I go to do the opposite thing, like almost immediately. There's no winning with myself. Okay. All right, now. I'm trying to get a nice fine tip here. There we go. Why do I decide that this is the thing I should do? Why do I do this to myself? My eyes are gonna go crossed. Sorry if I get quiet. It's like concentration. Oh, one of the movies I watched yesterday that I thought was pretty good was called Cobweb. It's on Hulu. And I liked it up until I think the monster reveal. I didn't love that part. It looked very cartoony, and it didn't have like a very satisfying I don't know. I was just hoping it would be more than just like end up with Monster of the Week thing, and but it was well done in a lot of ways, filmed beautifully. Kind of creates like, it does a really good job of creating things from like the kid's perspective. It's kind of filmed from the kid's perspective. It's a scary movie. I would recommend it. It's definitely a thing where it's going to be like looking better from a distance. Buffering, huh? Stream buffering bad? Is it near you? I have here. I think I should be okay. I'm maintaining just over 4,000 kilobyte per second, so I should be, but then there was also goofy things happening earlier on YouTube, so I'm not entirely sure if that's me or Twitch or the internet in general. I do not know. I'm not certain. Good things just, the internet just gotta be difficult. It's funny, in my very early days of working on art, I would have so many people ask me to do tattoos for them. It was really weird. All good, I just reset my side 2 and back to normal either way. Okay, good, I hope so. Please feel free to go ahead and join the Discord right away. Oh, absolutely, I will. I'll hopefully have it sorted in the next day or so. Awesome. And you can always use me as a guinea pig for anything or any ideas. I'm happy to help in that regard too. If that is ever useful. Yes, I did see that I had an email with that link, and I will click on it. I will indeed. Thank you. Okay. Come on, Pete. Don't fail me now. Does anybody do like New Year's resolutions? I wonder. Excellent regarding guinea pig. The goal of the community is for everyone to pitch in if they want. Awesome. That's badass. I love that. I love the idea. The whole thing. Getting across such good flow. Maybe I just might have overloaded my brush a little bit. I do resolutions, but I allow them to come forward organically. This year it is apparently get on Twitch. Well then, you win. What about me? I do treat the new year as like an opportunity to look at my goals and how I'm doing with them. I don't have like strict resolutions that I set this year. It's more like I just want to keep doing better. That sounds very vague. I know, but like in the sense of trying to manage mental health, physical health. I've made some strides in the last year, and I hope to continue with that. I hope to keep up all the things that I'm trying to do. Doing live streams, but also editing some videos, and also blog posts, and the social media presence, and all of the things that it's like, you know, you're supposed to do, but can be really hard to manage. And from what Scott was saying earlier, I would like to again approach some galleries this year and see if that feels any different this time around. There's that awful tendency, and I'd say as an artist, but I think it happens for a lot of people in a lot of different ways, to just always question if you're ready for something, right? No, now I have to set a schedule, so my first resolution is to stick to that for 30 days. That's a good resolution. Just make sure, I think the biggest thing for goals and what I've learned is it just has to be reasonable. Make sure that the schedule that you're setting is not gonna be like, it's not gonna burn you out. It's not gonna make you hate doing it. It's okay to start and build into something too. I think making your good mental health a resolution is great. Yeah, I think it has to be, right? It's everything else hinges on that. Everything else you might want to accomplish, everything else that you hope to do and see through. If you can't get yourself in a healthy place, then it's gonna be really hard. So yeah, those are some of the goals. Basically, it's just, you know, get better at the things that that are hard. Not working. You have no idea how much I hate it. It's just so hard. It's so... It's really, it feels like just the hardest thing ever sometimes, but it's something that I really should be trying to do much more and much better. So, let's see. Try to like get myself out of my comfort zone in that regard sometimes, but again, like I was saying, you know, keep it so you're not setting yourself up for failure. So, sometimes still a little bit manageable also. And I'm basically just faking that I'm painting filigree. If you really look closely, it's just nonsense. But I'm just trying to like not have all my lines kind of, you know, blend together into mush. So after this, I can decide whether or not I want to do any like glazing on top of this. If I want any of it to kind of not be so dark or intensely dark against her skin. I could do that, but most important right now is to just get all the line work done, and then I can decide on that. So I'm drawing over some of my older lines because the colors that I'm using right now is a little bit different. I don't mind some of that showing through, but at all. Just have it be kind of a little more, a little bit more consistent. All right, let's see. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. Kind of give you a perspective of now. Yeah. I don't mind it at the moment. It does seem a little strong. So we will see. Evil Drawing, hello, hello, hello. I missed out on, oh, here we go. I missed out on the changes, started over so I can see it. Oh, Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, I mean, if you started it over, just like stream it at 3 times speed because everything's happening. It feels like it's happening slowly. And there's been a few cat interruptions. Get my brush curving all weird. Okay. Try to just form my bristles a little bit before I put my brush down. I'm just like curving a little goofy for some reason. Okay. And then when I'm done with the stream, I always go and give the brushes a proper washing out with some brush still. Try to keep them decent. Excuse me. There's always that nagging, like, is it allergies or are you getting sick? If I'm getting sick, I've been on the verge of getting sick for weeks, so I kind of don't think that's it, but who knows? My body hates me sometimes. Okay, let's move right along. A couple more colors on here. And I'm gonna do, like, kind of pull these things into the background a little bit, and then I'm gonna go some more into like background area. We'll add some paint textures and colors. And play around there a little bit. So have some fun, maybe, perhaps. Okay, so adding a little bit of blue, cobalt blue, quinacridone red. I was just using a mix of Payne's gray and what's my green? Chromium oxide green, a little bit. Like a mix of those with a tiny bit of white is the color I was using just a minute ago on the axe. And like right now it feels like it's too strong by a hair. So I can like do a real light glaze and pull it back a little bit. So we will see. We will see. Okay. I think I need maybe a wee bit more weight here. Like right now, my plan is very vague. So when I get into a lot of like the working on the background stuff, this is where things can get to be a little bit a little bit more intuitive. And I'm not saying, when I say intuitive, am I saying it in place of just the fact that I have no plan? Yes, maybe, perhaps, that is the truth. But hey, doesn't mean it's not so. I got this out. It says, does your dry skin make you dread your mirror? But I just sort of like the whole, I mean, I can cut this apart and use like the last half of that. Does something make you dread your mirror? It's like cat stuff, because crazy cat lady. No denying. Be smart. Okay, I'm just gonna see and look at some of the random bits that are floating around in my mess. Oh, this one. The heck? Should be okay over here. And I like it because it's like almost the exact same yellow. Yeah, I guess I could also oh, sorry, I think I bumped the microphone. Apologies. Maybe right over here. It'll get covered up a little bit, of course, given how I work, but let it shine through a hair or something or another. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that. I don't know. I'm not sold on it, but let's see. Okay. What am I doing? Who knows? All right, so I want to pull these, like I want the words that I added under her hair to just, they're just there. I don't want them to be like, oh, hey, look at this, all these random white blobs. Yeah, I do want it to be readable, but like maybe just. Are you back? Hello, Mr. Watson. What are you talking about? Oh. Silly guy. My goodness. You still have a while to go till it's your supper time. You'll be okay. You'll be okay, Stinker. Ooh, a movie that I saw a few days ago that I really enjoyed was Turbo Kid. That was really fun. I like that a lot. Very nostalgia heavy, over the top, violent, but oh my gosh, so much heart. I really enjoyed it. Okay, no jumping on my back, okay? Maybe behave yourself. Hmm? Trying to make sure I'm mixing my color with enough of my glaze, my medium, so that I'm not making it too opaque when I'm going over these parts. But I did want to just work on some of the hair color and texture a little bit in general. So I'll do a little bit. I should have a smaller brush probably to do if I want to get into like real little bits of hair texture. Either a smaller brush or a rougher brush with some texture on it. And I think I would like to do that. I do want to pull some more like threads of hair out. Probably a couple that are actually going to overlap on her neck a little bit. Over here. Because here it's just like the hair is gathering, which probably should be seeing a little bit of hints of mesh behind it. Somebody pointed out on my last week's video that her neck looked long. Well, yeah, like honestly, her trapezius muscle would be like coming in here. Her arm, she's at a bit of an angle. So I mean, there is flesh there. Just use it a wee bit, I guess. But you know, it's all good. Okay, I'm not gonna get into, I don't think I'm gonna get into the details of the hair just yet, because as I was saying before, the goal is to do some background stuff. But I can just put some moments of a little bit more fleshy color here, just in here, so that when I go in and do add more of the hair, that can kind of shine through a little bit. You can see that there is something, some kind of body parts behind it. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. All right. Anyway. I'm going to grab a flat brush of some sort. That'll work. Also, painting in some of what I mean to go in the background before I get into the real detailed hair stuff makes some sense too, I think. Anyway. So, at this point, it's just kind of adding just texture and just building some texture and color layers. One thing I really enjoyed about the Turbo Kid movie was that Michael Ironside was in it. And as somebody who watches a lot of 80s movies, he's awesome. He's so good at playing like a villain. I even remember him from the TV show V, which was a ridiculous alien invasion show from a million years ago, and then they remade it some years back. I did not watch the remake. It had Robert Englund in it too, playing a very different character than Freddy Krueger, which is what so many of us actually know him as. With the lag time between what I'm doing and what shows up on stream is really, it's fairly significant. It's kind of interesting how that goes, how that works. Huh. I need a post burrito nap, so I'm heading off. Thanks for the stream, dude. I'll catch you next Tuesday. Heck yeah. Have a great night, Arsad, and yeah, hopefully see you next week. So just doing some drawing on here. So like it's textures and it's patterns and it's just whatever feels right, because there really is no significant plan, rough plan. This part is just see what happens. There's a lot of different process depending on like how the order I'm using my medium in. I'm definitely more used to adding in lots and lots of layers of different things when I'm working on like watercolor paper, more so than on canvas when I'm doing acrylic. So getting used to that being like a very different process, and there's different ways in which layering goes. Is certainly interesting and kind of fun, but that's just a different thing. I do kind of feel like I've neglected some of the area right around here a little bit, but there was a lot of it that's been primarily just neglected as I've been sort of figuring out what will go where and working my way to it. And it's getting kind of chaotic, but this is sort of the point. This is sort of how my work tends to be. It's not quite an accident for it to be that way. I'd still try to control the focal point nonetheless. So even when I'm adding some things in, like getting really nuts with it, there will certainly be an element of like coming back into it, adjusting, toning things down where it needs to be toned down, just to make sure that I don't lose that control. All right. Waterwork. Don't forget to hydrate, everybody. Okay, I have no desk space at the moment. We're going in. I've been thinking to save doing this for later, but it is remarkably dry very quickly. It's not like set, but it's not tacky anymore, so. There was some not quite right. Wow, that went everywhere. No point in wasting it. my goodness. Okay. Going a little nuts? We are. It's fine. I like to use a little squished in there like emoji laughing face. And I just seem like when I'm putting that in my paintings, I'm seeing it like, I don't know, like the movie Carrie, you know, they're all gonna laugh at you, like that's sort of what's in my head. I don't know. All right, let me see. I think I am going to add that there now. Some of the things don't really matter a whole lot. Things like I add layers of stuff. Yeah, things get covered up and they become a part, something that was very clearly like a specific drawing or a specific image that I've incorporated in can kind of disappear into being just a part of texture after a while. Because I do kind of layer, put on a layer, come back to it, rethink how it looks, add another layer, kind of just going back and forth until I'm happy. Things feel right. Okay. I am going to I hope I don't hate myself for doing this because this could go badly. But I think I am going to do a little bit of a glaze, just a very light one over what I've added here. Just very, very light and translucent, as the plan. So I'm gonna grab a rag in case I hate it, because that could happen. A little too light. All right. Okay. Adding more. Less white. A little less white. Just very easy especially in the highlighted part of her neck, just very lightly adding a little glaze over it. I do think that helps kind of incorporate it a little bit more. Going very, very easy. I don't want to lose it. It's also not like the main. Like I want it to not be the thing that your eye gets drawn to. I want her face, this here, this area here, to be what draws your attention. And I can do that in a few different ways. One of the ways is like right now, it's just like there's a lot of the lightest lights, the biggest areas of the lightest lights against some very darks, and like the eyes and the outline of the hair and the hat. So it becomes very, it's coming forward much more in the way that it's also highly rendered and lit. But I can do also more with the way that I'm adding components to create lines, like guiding lines and such, to control the point of view. So I will work those things in. I like this whole area is, I'm starting to like this corner over here. Everything else needs more work for sure. So we try to control the chaos a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that makes a difference. Make it look like it's part of her flesh, not just drawn on top of her. Hi, Mr. Watson. What's it doing? My studio assistant, who is also my cat, Watson. He's my buddy. He also makes me a little crazy. Sometimes he tries to jump up on me as I'm painting, because he's goofy. Okay. And I do still feel like I want to do, I definitely want to do more with the hair and the hat. Like I'm going to add some there. I'm going to add some more like detail in the hair. I kind of painted over this area, so I will refine that a little bit. So that will be yet to come. I don't know if I'll do that on stream necessarily. Some of the really fussy things, just like I can spend hours working on that stuff, and everybody will be bored out of their wits. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, you're very sweet. I love you. So, yeah, this will continue to be worked on. I might take a break on my next stream on what today's Monday. Today's Monday. New Year's. It's New Year's. It's 2024, everybody. So on Thursday morning, when I stream next, we might take a break from working on this piece and kind of do something random, perhaps. So we will see. But yeah, this is getting closer. It's controlling the chaos. It's finishing the chaos as well as maintaining control over it. So we'll get there. It's getting there. Every time I work on it, it's getting closer. And I try not to spend years and years and years. But yeah, you know, That's how it goes sometimes. But I think, oh, I know it's not even 2 hours, but I think I might call it. I think I'm just feeling a little bit under the weather, a little bit. And yeah, anything else I'd be working on, I feel like I would just be sort of starting in on something. I would need to add more paint. So I think I just got paint on my face, probably, whatever. Good spot. Good spot to kind of like let it rest. I'm gonna come in tomorrow morning, take a look, see how I feel about things, decide what to do, and I'll come up with. And I might do more of this on stream. But next Thursday morning, 2 days from today, less than that. Wait, I'm telling you, my brain is not something. Okay, yes, Thursday morning. I hope to see you then. Everybody have a great week. Getting back to some normalcy after all the holiday chaos and hazy days. So have a great night, and I'll see you later. Bye.